So, hello everybody. My name is Jacob, otherwise known as the Mask Viewer, and I'm with my good friend, Serious Gameboy 33, otherwise known as Jason. Shit.
That's not my name, fool.
I forgot. It's been a while since we talked.
It's fine, I know.
Okay.
My name's Justin, by
Thank
the way.
you. Thanks. But we have to record this twice because our first one was honestly really shitty, but
Yeah, it kind of was.
yeah. But we are starting. This is kind of the pilot of sorts, an episode 0, if you will, of a podcast we are planning on doing called what do we call it again?
I wanted to call it Double Toku Bros, but
I think we just called it TwoTokuDudes, but that needs
that could work.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do that. So many of you guys seeing this, you may have asked, "Oh, hey, what the fuck is Tokusatsu?" And to that, I'm going to give you guys a very brief, very minuscule history of the genre this podcast is centered around. So for those who don't know, Tokusatsu is a Japanese art form, mostly used in television and movies. It's kind of originally started in the early 1950s with Godzilla, with the whole kaiju/monster boom of that era, until around 1957, where the film Supergiant made its debut, which started the Henshin boom. Henshin meaning transform in America, which featured mass superheroes fighting evil. The most notable one is Kamen Rider, where it's about a guy who's half like cyborg fighting a group called, I fucking forgot their name. Let me check.
It's Shocker.
Shocker, yes. It's been a while since I've talked about Tokusatsu in general. Then later on, that would also kind of inspire a lot more anime, like say, not anime. I guess also anime. You could technically factor in other animes where, like, say Sailor Moon, where the main characters, transform. Even other, like, super, like, mecha anime, like Gundam, could arguably be counted into like Tokusatsu, but that's besides the point, and that goes into a whole, like, big, just in general shit fest I don't want to go into. And by shit fest I mean just a really long history that I also don't want to go into. Cut to 1975, where the Super Sentai series debuted, which was created by Kamen Rider's creator Shotaro Ishinomori. Later on, the Metal Hero series would be created, also by Shotaro Ishinomori, starting in 1982. And then, but all the way before all those series existed, we had the Ultra series, which is probably what a lot of Americans are familiar with, like, excluding Power Rangers, because that's an adaptation by itself, because Ultraman started in 1966, and I believe was kind of like syndicated in the US, or at least poorly dubbed in the US, and that kind of brought a lot of popularity to it, at least from people who are into Kamen Rider or Super Sentai. So if you haven't seen any sort of series like Kamen Rider or Garo or Ultraman, not Ultraman, or Super Sentai, whatever, you would probably have heard of Ultraman at one point, because I know they used to air it on, like, I don't know where they used to air it, but I know they used to show it on, like, shows like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast and stuff. There's also that really weird 4Kids dub they made in the 2000s.
I actually had like a DVD of this really old Ultraman series that like my grandmother gave me.
Oh.
I don't know why or how, but I had it. I eventually lost it, but it's interesting that.
That's nice. Yeah, Ultraman
That
is
was in like
yeah,
that was a long time ago, so it was weird.
yeah. Ultraman's arguably the oldest currently running Tokusatsu series that's still well known. And also later on we would get Garo, the only really adult Tokusatsu series that's popular. And
Well, if you don't count Amazon's, but
Amazon's weird because Amazon's like it's separate from the Kamen Rider canon, and yeah, Go is just a lot more
didn't
adult.
Ghost like have a crossover with them or something?
I don't know. I wasn't
Pretty
following Amazon at the time.
Who cares?
But either way, fucking Garo is awesome and from what I've heard, and I should probably watch it. Anyhow, but that's besides the point. But most people who don't know of Ultraman stuff probably know one way or another of Tokusatsu via Saban Brands, who produced Power Rangers. Power Rangers, for those who don't know, who probably already do because this is a widely known fact, Power Rangers would take footage from Super Sentai, which we discussed before, and move it and replace the scenes with Japanese actors with American actors, and arguably kind of Americanize the series. And it's still continuing to this day, which we'll get into that series later. But yeah, that's a very, very brief history of Tokusatsu in general. There's some things like with individual series like Kamen Rider with the different eras, and you know how Marvel
Speaking of eras, why do Godzilla Showa era and Heisei and like all that other stuff not line up between series? Because like Heisei for Godzilla started in the 90s, and Heisei for Kamen Rider started in the 2000s.
I know why. I think I know why. So, I believe it is because by the time the Showa era ended, it was with Kamen Rider Black OX, and by the time that was the end of Kamen Rider, and so I guess it was because I don't know. Did Godzilla films like kind of release yearly in back then? I want to say that. Yeah,
kind of yearly. Like
it
went on until at least. It kept going until 2000 at least.
Yeah. So I think the main reason was just because Kamen Rider ended before. I think it's because I want to say Black OX ended, or at least started around the time in between the transition from Showa to Heisei, or because since Black OX is a direct sequel to Kamen Rider Black, it kind of belongs in the Showa era.
Also adapted by Saban as Masked Rider.
Yeah, which was shit.
Yes, it was.
And also, it's incredibly hard to find like episodes online. I found.
I wonder why.
I mean, I found torrents of the episodes, but they were in really low quality. And I was planning on like watching it one day.
I mean, this crap was broadcasted like once in the 90s. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Probably don't have DVDs. Probably not.
Yeah, but
I dare you, Hasbro. Do it. Get the rights to it and make fucking Masked Rider DVDs. I dare you.
Yeah, speaking of Tokusatsu in America, outside of Ultraman and Power Rangers, there wasn't really any other attempts to... Well, there were attempts, but they weren't really successful attempts. There were the Old Troopers, which adapted multiple Metal Hero series, which garnered a mixed reception. Even so that in season 2, I believe they had like a shorter budget, so they just reused some like costumes and stuff. Like I know at one point, I don't know what it was, but like they reused like the Mighty Morphin Red helmet and just painted it red, blue and red. So that was something.
Okay, guys, sure.
And but later on, in 2006, I want to say, we got an adaptation of Kamen Rider Ryuki, which was Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which was the only good Kamen Rider US adaptation, and is actually really good. And for some people, it is better than the original, which is surprising.
It's all right.
Yeah. Metal Heroes also had Big Bad Beat of Warburgs, which actually was more successful than Power Rangers at one point, which caused the introduction of Power Rangers Turbo's Justin. Yeah, we'll get into that in like a later episode.
Let's just say that Japan didn't exactly do Child Rangers any better. Looking at you, Kiba Ranger.
Yeah.
Weirdo. Oh, the 90s. Ugh.
But yeah, that's just pretty much Tokusatsu in a nutshell. It's pretty cool, it's pretty weird, and it's why I watch it alone.
I actually found a friend.
Oh, really? Who's into it?
Yeah.
Does
we
he...
watched part of 01, and he's liking it, so...
Ah, cool. Did you, like, have to force him to watch it, or, like...
No. I just showed him what it is, and he's
Oh,
like,
cool.
okay, this is cool. Like, he's not gonna, like, devote his life to it.
He's
but,
not gonna
you know,
import the toys and pay $60 for a piece of plastic.
No, sir.
Like I did.
You know, that reminds me that I probably shouldn't put any of these on my Christmas list.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's gonna be expensive.
but the current series in terms of the shows that still exist are Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and Power Rangers, and also Ultraman, but we're not really much Ultraman people. The current series that are airing, at least, are Ultraman Tiga, which, Kamen Rider Zero Run, which actually is pretty fun. I've seen, like, the first 2 episodes, and it's very much like a modern-day Kamen Rider from the Showa era. It's very...
You can definitely feel it, like,
yeah.
definitely feel it.
There's, Ryu Sojo. I hate pronouncing that name.
It's a dumb name.
Yeah. Which is night-themed, which is awesome, but it's also dinosaur-themed, meaning it's like the 4th or 5th Sentai to do so.
Pretty sure it's the 4th, and it's also not original, because it uses the same team configuration as, Kyoryuger did.
Yeah.
Only one girl, fuck you.
Admittedly, I think it's because Sentai has been kind of lacking in ratings for the past few years. I remember a video a while back made by some guy, and it stated like, oh, well, yeah, it kind of started with TwoTokuDudes.
I mean, TV is lacking in general, right?
Yeah, but there's still...
Numbers aren't what they used to be, okay?
Because people moved into streaming.
Yeah.
And over here in America, we have Power Rangers Beast Morphers, which adapted 2012's Tokyo Sentai Go Busters, a series that was originally skipped out by Power Rangers in favor for Kaizoku Sentai Go Kaiju being adapted into Super Mega Force.
You know what's gonna suck?
What?
I've heard somewhere that they're doing a season 2, so we're probably gonna wait another year to get new Sentai. Because why should we have fun? Why? I don't know.
Why should we
get trains or cops fighting robbers? Why? Who cares? Just wait another year. This crap.
Yeah. I should really catch up on Beast Morphers.
I've heard that it's good.
It is really good.
It's at least better than Super Mega Force.
I watched a good majority of season 1. Like, I think I watched the first 14 or so episodes, and they're really good. I only skipped like the filler episodes though, although I think I watched some of the filler ones. But anyways, but that's pretty much all of the recent Tokusatsu that can come to our minds at least. I know we're like, missing out on some. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some ones from like other countries outside of Japan or America. Like, I think that I want to say Indonesia is really big on Tokusatsu. I know, like, some other Asian markets and places among those areas are very big in Toku. I want to say Indonesia is probably the one that comes to my head, at least.
Yeah, Korea sometimes gets in there. They got Dino Force Brave.
That's right, but Korea just mostly adapts the show.
I mean, the first season was just Kyoryuger, but the second season was a little different.
Yeah.
So if you want a really good Tokusatsu to watch for free on YouTube, just watch Legend Hero.
Oh, I've heard that's really good.
It is.
I heard it's like Kamen Rider Ryuki meets Skyrim or something.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it literally has Ryuki's plot. Like, there's
because there's the multiple riders, I should say, and
Legend Heroes.
Yeah, and then they have these little like mythology stuff, and it seems pretty cool.
It's a battle for a wish, which I'm pretty sure is
that's the exact plot of Ryuki.
Yeah, nobody said you had to be original.
Yeah. Also, Vietnam, from what I've heard, does some tokusatsu from time to time.
I mean, to be fair, Reichi's plot is pretty much the plot of Highlander, so...
That's true. But with that being said, do you have any recommendations to your viewers for just getting into tokusatsu?
Getting into Tokusatsu.
But before we say something, we should probably mention with Tokusatsu, especially a lot of like post 2000, especially just throughout Tokusatsu in general, all the series from like the shows we mentioned, 90% of the time they're not connected with each other. So you could just watch. So you don't have to watch you don't have to go in order. So if you want to watch, say, Kamen Rider Blade, and you don't have to worry about Kamen Rider Fives, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you where you definitely shouldn't start with Decade.
Yeah.
Or Geo. Don't start with either of them.
Because those are both anniversary seasons, and you can still kind of watch them without knowing. You can watch them, but only if you somewhat know about like what's this. Who is this Kamen Rider, who's that Kamen Rider, etc.
I mean, I have bits of knowledge, that's why I can watch Geo without really being confused, but where to start is a lot harder of a question, because you can really start anywhere.
I guess just what do you recommend, like, in general?
I don't know. Basic answer, I would just start with Double, because it's the beginning of the modern Heisei era. Pretty good on its own too.
I would, in terms of Kamen Rider, I would recommend, excluding anniversary seasons, Kamen Rider Blade, from what I've heard, is really good.
I've heard the second half is better.
Yeah, I also remember watching Summer Force, and it's kind of fun. It's very lighthearted. Well, lighthearted from the first 5 episodes at least, from what I've seen.
I mean, if the designs were better, I'd probably be able to get into it more.
There's also Gaim. Gaim, from what I've heard, is fantastic, and it looks really.
I've seen the first episode of Gaim. It's interesting.
Yeah. We'll just
and
say
I
that.
really like Gaim as a design.
That's too. It's if you like fucking feudal Japan type inspired designs, you'll like Gaim. I guess.
If you like feudal Japan plus Fruit Ninja, you're there.
Yeah. And also, like we said before, 01 is awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah. For Super Sentai, we're more familiar with because we grew up on Power Rangers, so I'm going to personally recommend Gokaijo. That's my personal favorite Sentai. It is an anniversary season, but you don't have to know shit about any sort of Super Sentai beforehand. And you'll probably like it.
If you're bitter about Super Mega Force,
just watch Gokaijo.
Because it's so much better, even though it's not the best.
Magi Ranger is okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Magi Ranger, but like sometimes it can kind of pull the stereotypical fairy tale-esque tropes, which makes sense given what it's based off of.
I haven't watched a lot of it, but I really want to get into it to see if it's better than Mystic Force.
For some reasons, there's musical segments in some episodes.
Don't like all the shows have a dance number at the end?
Most of them.
For some reason.
Yeah. It's I guess it's just a thing with Japanese TV, because like, you know how like in animes, like people joke that the anime opening is like so fucking hyper and like epic and awesome, and then just the ending's just like, hey, chill.
Speaking of musical numbers, if you want a fun little game of Whiplash, look up everything you can about Kamen Rider Hibiki and then watch the first episode. They just start singing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, Zyuranger, which was the 4th series adapted to America, is pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it's fun. I'll just say that.
I would go with Jetman, the one right before it.
How good is that?
I've seen a bit, and it's all right.
Huh.
You know, like the characters are pretty cool, and you know the villains are great.
Yeah. And finally, Power Rangers. I'm more knowledgeable about this because I've seen a good majority of all the Power Rangers one way or another.
I know enough to get by at least.
So I'm gonna recommend one from each series. I wouldn't recommend starting with if you're gonna do anything from the first era. Don't go from one season. Don't go to like a specific season that isn't the first, because you'll just get confused. But I recommend personally, In Space, Time Force, or Lightspeed Rescue. For Disney era, I would personally recommend Ninja Storm, SPD, Jungle Fury, and especially if you're just gonna watch one show, watch SPD. Not SPD, RPM. It's amazing. It's mature. It can be a little goofy at times, but it works, and it is awesome.
Like the funniest part of RPM to me
is when they start. Yeah, when they just criticize the tropes of the series.
Yeah, that was funny, but like the funniest little moment was when they brought out the Go Launcher's van.
Yeah.
You have to explain what the hell that is.
RPM's awesome.
It is pretty good.
And finally for Neo Saban, I recommend what was it? Dino Charged?
Yes.
Dino Charge and Beast Morphers. Beast Morphers currently airing though, and that's a part of the Hasbro era.
Not technically a Neo Saban, by the way.
Yeah. It's from Hasbro.
I don't know if I can really recommend anything from that era, honestly.
From Neo Saban or just
Neo Saban in general, like it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not really
it's passable.
I mean, if you could like cut out everything else from Megaforce and just leave the fights and the suits, that would be good. Because those suits are beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Gokaiger has some great design.
Oh yeah.
And what would I recommend from the rest of it? Well, the first era is kind of hard because you do sort of
follows
have to
a central storyline.
Like, it does lead from one thing to the next, but like starting from Turbo, you don't really need to watch the rest to really do anything else. Because like at that point, Zordon's gone, and most of the team is replaced. Like, and then from In Space, you're fine. So
yeah,
I would recommend In Space though. In Space is cool.
In Space is good. Just make sure you read the Wikipedia article on the series prior to
I would recommend that.
Yeah. What about for Disney era and the shows?
And Wild Force is technically Disney, and I want people to watch Forever Red because Forever Red is amazing. Like that is a good episode, man.
Yeah.
And then for like the rest of the Disney era, I personally want to recommend Mystic Force, even though it probably isn't that good.
Mystic Force is very mixed. Like, there's some people who like it, some people who hate it. I just like it a lot because, that kind of, fantasy stuff is very fun to me.
And then I would also recommend RPM because it's really fun.
It's Terminator meets Power Rangers. Terminator or Mad Max.
It's like Terminator, Mad Max, and HAL 9000 had a baby, and then they all met up with Power Rangers and said, "We want to deal."
Yep. Also, it's really surprising because the original series they adapted from it was as light-hearted as you can get.
Though, if you look at the 5th and 6th Rangers, or 6th and 7th Rangers, it's kind of a flip. It's like, Go on Wings are like serious as hell, but whatever their names were in the other one...
Jeb and Gemma.
Oh, yeah. They're like weirdly serious but not serious.
They're children, basically.
Right.
which makes sense given the context of the show, but I just fair warning, they can be annoying. But I think that's pretty much all.
Oh, and if you want a Super Sentai recommendation, please watch Lupin Ranger versus Patch Ranger because I love it.
It's cops and robbers.
Yes.
I honestly get the Lupin Ranger is kind of which one would like the not which one want the cops the
Lupin Rangers.
Okay, the Power Rangers honestly give me Persona 5 vibes. I don't know why, they just do. Well, it's probably because Persona 5, the whole gimmick is that, you know, they're thieves. They're thieves. But also play Persona 5, but that's besides the point. But, anything to, sign off?
Just have fun. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Please, and also, if you're wondering how to watch these shows, for Power Rangers, they have official DVD releases. And you can find the shows on Netflix, but for like stuff like Super Sentai, torrent it because there's no other way. Well, there is the Shout Factory DVD releases.
Yeah, there's only a few of them. But...
There's only from Jetman all the way to, I believe, Abba Ranger. Let me just check.
They got up to Abba Ranger?
Yeah, let me check. I think so. Let me check. Shout Factory Super Sentai DVDs. They so far they gone all the way up to Gal Ranger.
Oh, that's nice.
So they're not that far away. So sooner actually Hurricane Ranger. Never mind. I was wrong. They got as far as to Hurricane Ranger, and meaning so sooner or later they are probably going to do. Abba Ranger and stuff.
Yeah, and
they retail for about 40 or so bucks. So if
bad.
40, 60 bucks. So for an entire fifth series, 51 episodes, subtitled and remastered in like high quality format, I say get it.
Now, little secret. If you want to watch some Heisei Kamen Rider, if you go to here's a quick little plug for Makusatsu. If you go to his video on Deno, there's a Google Doc link to a full Google Drive of each Heisei series from Kuga to Geo, by the way.
Or just find the or just like find the torrents on like
that too.
Various other if you look online, just type in Kamen Rider Kuga torrents, you'll find it.
You'll usually find something.
Yeah, there's like what's the site I usually go to? Like TV? Is it TV-Nihon?
I just go to Tv-Nihon.
Yeah, I go to Tv-Nihon. That's the one I go to. Tv-Nihon is the most popular one.
Oh, and if you don't know how to use torrents, you need a site to play them.
You need BitTorrent to download them.
Yes.
But we don't want to get in trouble with the law, so we're not going to talk anymore about that. Anyhow,
no more.
That's goodbye.